What's up, everyone? Appreciate you checking in. This is week 2 of my 30-day fruit fast. So 7 days has passed, and here I am in week 2 of my 30-day fruit fast. So I want to let everyone know how it went. I went and journaled every single day, so I'm gonna give everybody an update. But first and foremost, make sure you hit that subscribe button to show your support on my journey of truth, my fruitarianism journey, as well as my health and wellness journey as well. So I appreciate everyone who has supported this show and this channel as it's grown so much, and I look forward to continually making videos. And if everyone out there, look, you can follow me on all the socials at RL Melpica, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter as well. And my podcast, Minds Like Minds podcast, which will be relaunching in the 5th season, where I really take a turn more towards the health and wellness philosophies that I share and live at the end of the day. So I love doing this, and I appreciate everyone who's showed their support and love for me. So thank you so much. But here we are, week 2. Oh man, week 1, the first 7 days was great. Here are the things that I experienced on my first 7 days of 100% fruit. Number 1, I always felt light, never bloated. There was never an instance where, I had cramps or any type of physical ailment that I would usually notice if I ate cooked food or even, vegetables per se. But 100% fruit for those first 7 days, I was absolutely just light. I felt light. I didn't have that extra baggage on me, and it was something that I really grew accustomed to throughout. That was the first thing I noticed. Number 2 was weight loss. Like, even though that's not the intention of this 30-day fruit fast, it just comes along with the territory because you're eating optimal food. And your body is able to assimilate, as well as it's not using as much energy to digest. And on top of that, you are probably having lower calories because you're not eating as much, but you're still full and you're still satiated. So throughout the first week, I lost roughly 5.5 pounds, somewhere around there. I weighed myself every day. Just to kind of see, and it was a constant trajectory of a little bit every single day for that first 7 days. So that was an added benefit of this weight loss. For those of you who've watched my earlier videos, I lost roughly 20 pounds just going majority fruitarian. Where about 80% of my meals are raw fruit, and then the rest are just vegan. So that was another added benefit there. Let's see what else that I noticed. No bloating, and I know that goes along with feeling light, but I don't think people realize how good it feels to not be bloated and not be fatigued after you eat. Like, I think we've been conditioned to think that's normal. Like, that's what it's supposed to feel like when you're full, but it's not. And that was just such a relief. And it's one thing, like, because I've wrestled with going 100% raw versus the 80% of what I am on a full-time basis. And it's a conscious choice that I'm making. And for anybody out there, I always implore, like, it's more important to understand how the body works and how you can help yourself detox after you eat something that might not be optimal than it is to just go 100% raw fruitarian. You know what I mean? But I truly do understand the added benefits of going 100% fruitarian, because you just feel great. I can't even really give it its full justice. I just implore everyone to try it. Maybe start small, a few days here and there, and just notate how you feel each day. And the real biggest kicker is the contrast between eating raw versus eating cooked food. And in my first 7 days, look, we all have our challenges. So in the first 7 days, we had a dinner for a family member who was leaving town. And, I was at this dinner, it was at an Italian restaurant, and I was surrounded by breads and manicottis and manicotti and pizza and pastas and all these things that, a lot of us have grown to love. And it was really challenging to not partake in that. I ended up getting a salad with some tomatoes, some onions. So it wasn't 100% fruit in that aspect, but I did feel a little bit of a difference after eating that versus eating 100% fruit. But the biggest kicker for me was on day 6, which was the night of the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight at my brother's house. And he cooked up just a smorgasbord of all this food, and he made me a portobello mushroom burger. He did not know I was doing this 30-day fruit fast, so he didn't know, but he went out of his way to make food specifically for me and my wife. Well, I made the conscious choice to go ahead and partake in that because he had put the energy in it. And, I'd been so good on this fruit fast so far. I figured, hey, this might be good for research, but also, I wasn't, I made the choice because I wanted to do it. So no excuses there. The real kicker here is the contrast. The contrast from what I've been doing for that first 6 days versus once I ate that mushroom burger was just extremely glaring. Like my body felt, I think the term I used was warm. Not hot, not inflamed necessarily, but warm. And I had that full, not extremely heavy, but a little bit of a heavy feeling. But I could just ultimately tell the difference between what I had been doing up to that point versus after eating that mushroom burger. And it was just a microcosm of the entirety of our society when it comes to diet. Because we live in that state, and probably a worse state than I felt after the portobello mushroom. Most people live in a state of being full, of being bloated, of being warm, of all the wrong sides of chemistry, the hot side of chemistry versus the alkaline, cold side of chemistry. And people build up their tolerance so much from eating all these foods that they don't even notice what it's supposed to feel like. They don't even know what it's supposed to feel like. And they can't even get to the point where they notice the differences because they're just so they're just so used to that particular feeling. But once you do go raw, specifically raw fruit for a few days, and you feel what it feels like and your body gets used to it, the moment you go back to those habits, your body is going to let you know immediately. And that was most glaring to me. So in the first 7 days, that's the number one thing I learned was how, just this incredible contrast between how I felt those first 6 days versus after I ate that portobello mushroom burger. It was just unbelievable. So, I implore everyone out there to test that. Go a day or two. Going 30 days is pretty intense for someone who isn't already in the routine of eating raw. But go a couple days, see how you feel, and then reintroduce the cooked food or, whatever it be outside the optimal food or fruit, whether that be cooked vegetables or cooked meats or processed food, whatever it is. And I want you to note it. I don't even have to tell you to want to. You're going to notice such a contrast that it's going to be eye-opening for you. So that was my first week, pretty much. Week 2, I'm introducing GI Renew into the mix. Those who have watched my earlier videos know that I did the GI Broom from Dr. Morse. Now I'm doing the GI Renew. The Broom cleaned me out. Now this is going to restore everything in my GI tract that's been just obliterated over the last few decades of bad eating. So, but for the first week, those are the main key points. The feeling of being light and not bloated, and the slow loss of weight, And just the contrasting difference from when I was eating raw versus eating a cooked portobello burger, and how that was just so eye-opening for me. For somebody who is majority fruitarian, like I said, 80% of the food I eat is raw fruit. But I do eat cooked food, that other 20%. So like my body has like assimilated to that, has gotten used to that. So I haven't been able to notice that contrast on a day-to-day basis. But doing this was very eye-opening to me. So check back next week. I'll be letting everyone know how my week 2 went with the GI Renew. And I look forward to sharing that. If you have any questions about this, or if you've done this yourself and want to share your experiences, please drop comments. And once again, make sure you hit that like button, give me that thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll be back next week. Peace, love, and light. I'm out.